All right, so after having some trouble coming up with a video, I came up with an idea at this time, and the way I came up with the idea was just thinking about America, and then I realized how I've been talking about how I have had New York vibes, Chicago vibes, and Miami vibes. First of all, I do want to say Miami is a very special place, and the funny thing is that when I was old enough to walk or run or whatever you want to call it. And I was really young. I don't remember how old I was, but I was really young, maybe 2 or 3 years old, and I could walk, I could run, I could do all that. The funny thing is that I got a lot of credit when I started life. Everybody used to say, even school or anywhere, that I learned my ABCs when I was 2 years old or younger. I learned math when I was really young, like 2 years old. I learned to talk super early, like really early. I was able to talk, like actually fluently speak English very early. So I gave this sense that I was a genius kid, and that's why I had genius expectations of me. Though I never grew or changed or had a presence at all, it was always like an invisible, thing that no, like you just see through it. It doesn't exist. And that thing never even changes what it is. So it's like, holy shit, what is this thing? You know what I mean? But as of today, I can kind of now finally show and prove, in different ways how good I can be and how smart I can be or whatnot. But that just kind of, just to kind of, show that I'm not that same person, or I am that same guy. I just move forward, which means I'm still the same guy, just a better version of myself. But anyways, the point of this was to talk about those cities. So Miami, I was old enough to run, and it was Miami Beach and some cafes and stuff. Spent some time in Miami. But I mean, it's funny how I spent time in Miami, when I was first starting off, just as a baby, and later on, I went to school in Houston, Texas and stuff. My first years of school were in Houston, Texas. But the point is that, but I'm not talking about Houston right now. I'm talking about Miami. And to me, Miami is a very special place. To really understand how special Miami is, you can't just go to Miami. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can go to Miami, and Miami vibes are great. And I shouldn't have said that you can't just, but I mean, it kind of helps to go a little bit around it too. I've been at the time of having around the time of having Miami vibes. I did actually physically visit Florida. I was just in the Northwest versus Miami. But it's funny because I went Northwest. Later on, I went to Cuba, which is from, I think it's southwest of, I don't know what, but it definitely south of Miami. And I went to Dominican, and I went to Colombia. And really, the Cuban community in Miami is absolutely huge. The Colombian community in Miami is so present and so significant in there. It's just crazy. But I wanted to say, Miami is a very special city because it's got so much going on around it. You've got all this beautiful Florida landscape, in the state. But and then you got all these amazing beaches, the best parties, the who's who is always there, right? It's literally the who's who of everywhere goes to Miami. You know what I mean? No matter where you're coming from, Miami is a very special place. And I got Miami vibes in Cuba. I got Cuba is a scary place, but I got Miami vibes there, and obviously I got Miami vibes in Colombia. But there's not much to say, so I'll move on. I wanted to talk about these three cities: Miami, Chicago, and New York in particular. Chicago again. So I didn't talk about it that much before. Chicago to me was a bit of a special place, but really a war zone. I know that sounds messed up. Yeah, to me, Chicago is like, I don't believe some people say, oh, if you can make it in the hood, you can make it anywhere. I think I've heard shit like that. I don't believe in that. Just because you can make it in the hood does not mean you can make it anywhere, man. You can go to some bad places or good places, and you'll look like an idiot if all you know is the hood. But the thing with Chicago is that, it's just it's like a real war zone. You know what I mean? You're actually living in a war zone. And again, they do call it Chirac because the stats are insane. You know what I mean? And what do I think about when I say that statement is that, I think about, like when they had the Iraq war, which lasted a long time. But imagine living in Baghdad and having Baghdad vibes in that Iraq war. Okay, now let me think of another place that had a war. Well, Colombia was having a civil war when I visited there, which is very interesting. But I mean, they were having a civil war for I think decades or a whole decade at least. I'm trying to think of another example, not current, something a bit older. You know what I'm gonna say. You already know what let's not even go there. Let's just talk about Baghdad. It's like living in Baghdad during the war. And let me explain to you what that means. It doesn't mean that you're full-time in war. You are full-time in war, but doesn't necessarily mean that's all you do. If you're in Baghdad and there's a war going on, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is that you still have to look for ways to earn money. You still have to socialize. You still have to do everything else. Now, to me, what kind of socializing am I going to do in Iraq during a war in Baghdad? I'm not going to do any much socializing at all. You know what I mean? And I had fantasies of going there. You know what I mean? Before I robbed that bank, I was literally trying to join Blackwater because the Canadian Army wasn't doing any tours into any place of war. So I was like, I can't join this shit. And you know what I mean? I couldn't do that. And the American Army, is very suspicious of guys, certain guys, you know what I mean? You join them, they become very suspicious of you. They're not willing to send you into certain war zones. They're worried about what you might do. The American Army, especially nowadays, in the old days, these crazy, aggressive, strong, wild soldiers, these guys really prospered in the American Army. There was a time when these guys used to prosper, and I'm talking about like Vietnam War days. When we got into the Afghanistan and Iraq war, it wasn't really, I believe, okay, this is my opinion, that the Afghanistan war was really the place where America started rethinking their soldier strategy. During the Afghanistan war, they were like, dude, like, and I'm not gonna go deep into it. I'm not getting into American politics or war politics, but I do believe that was a time when they reassessed their old, crazy, hardcore, strong soldier thing, the man kind of thing. We got to get rid of these guys. I'm serious about that. Like, we don't need these kind of guys in Afghanistan. You know what I mean? We need guys that are young, but smart enough and will actually listen to what we tell them. You know what I mean? That was the thing. That was a big change in the American Army. And I do believe that started from the Afghanistan war. And then when they went into Iraq, I mean, believe you me, I'm not talking about race or anything either. You could be a young white guy who's like that, and they will not want to send you to Iraq. That's exactly what happened. There were guys that were trying to get sent into Iraq, and it wasn't happening. And the few guys that did make it to Iraq like that found out that they weren't getting any promotions, and they were being treated like shit all the time, and being treated like, we don't want you here. So they left, and they just went back to America. Okay, so the army isn't the days of the old days when you're like, dude, one night, it's midnight and I feel like riding out. So I'm gonna get in my Jeep by myself or with one of my partners or by myself, and I'm gonna go drive around the city. I know it's a war going on, but I'm still gonna drive around the city. I'm gonna drive around the city. I'm gonna try to pick up a girl or two. I'm gonna try to pick up girls. I'm gonna try to have some beers, have a good time, maybe make a girlfriend. I'm doing tour there. I'm gonna live here for 2 or 3 years anyways, so I might as well find a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Shit like that. They don't want guys like that anymore. So that old war zone mentality is not going on in the American military. I'll let you know right now. So I was, I literally wanted to go to Baghdad. I was ready and able, and I would have, even at the basic level that I was at, I would have done amazing. I mean, when it comes to weapons training and all that stuff, I would have done amazing. But, I didn't end up doing that. You know what I mean? But the point is that, it's not that you're full-time in war. You still have to do groceries. You have to maintain your house. You have to have a car. You have to pick stuff up. You have to deal with shit. You got to do some kind of basic education, at least on your own. You know what I mean? You got to keep yourself busy. You know what I mean? But largely, you're just driving around in a war zone, and that's what Chirac felt like, or Chicago. That's what it felt like. I think that's what made that place special. Is that you really had those vibes, man. Like you were like it's just like, it's kind of like, I don't give a shit. And I don't know if I'm going to live today. I don't know if I'm going to live to see tomorrow. So today I'm wilding out. And next thing you know, you're not drinking, you're sober, and you're still wilding out. You're totally sober, but you're still wilding out. You're sober and you're still wilding out 24/7, wilding out every day. You know what I mean? The only thing you're really looking for is like, it's fun every now and then. You meet up with a girl and you have a good time and then you leave. And then, and you might go to this spot or that spot, but you don't even go to places anymore. You go to a nightclub by yourself, you get in there, you go to the very back of the nightclub in the back corner where they direct you. You go there, you do a little bit of your thing and you come on and you're gone. It's being in a war zone. There's no hey, how you doing? I'm gonna hang out with Alice and John and James and Thomas and Mary and Carrie and Friedman and what's the girl's name? Courtney and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that, man. It's a war zone, man. You know what I mean? You're meeting with a chick for 20-30 minutes and then you leave and you don't see her again, or you do see her again, but you don't see her for a little while. You might not see her for weeks and weeks or months, and you're living like that. You know what I mean? There's nothing really going on. You're not doing any activity. You're not going to school. You're not even really working. You're not doing anything at all. You know what I mean? Except get in your car and drive like a motherfucker with the music blasting and making crazy motherfuckers feel so sober and normal. You're doing it so crazy that the craziest motherfuckers you knew are like, I can't fucking do that shit. This guy is too wild for me. And there was a time when I was too wild for him, but he's too wild for me now. I'm not gonna live like, or people thinking, oh, he's gonna die or give up very soon. And it's like, he hasn't given up or died. So, that's all I gotta say about Chicago. Anyways, so I got New York and Dubai. I think I've talked a lot about New York. There's nothing for me to say. Maybe Dubai. We'll talk a little bit about Dubai. I'll tell you honestly, Dubai has it. If you go to Dubai with a lot of money and you're on business, chances are you'll stay at a 5-star hotel. Okay, you'll be there for a week or 2 weeks max, right? You'll stay in a 5-star hotel. You're gonna have business contacts to meet. You're gonna go eat at nice fancy restaurants. You're gonna go to Dubai Mall to do a little bit of shopping. All right, you're not even. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I mean, dude, the amount of, I'm sorry to say, but the amount of Indians and some parts of Asians, like all that shit you got there, man, it's crazy. And it just kind of, you look at the place and you go, why would I ever like this place, man? Like the largest population in Dubai is Indians. And then I think it's Filipinos and Bangladeshis and Pakistanis and all that. It's like crazy, man. Like, I look at that place and I go, why would I want to live there, man? At any point or not. And people go on their business. They don't even see, and dude, it's shitty as fuck, man. Dubai is a shitty city when it comes to entertainment, man. The only good thing about Dubai is luxury. So you have a luxury car, a luxury hotel, and you go to really nice fancy restaurants to eat. That's all you get. That's all you get in Dubai. There's nothing in Dubai. It's total garbage. Dubai is just a garbage dump. It's a big garbage dump, Dubai. It's a big garbage dump in the desert that they call, this mega city or whatever. It is not a mega city. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's cheesy. It's stupid. I would have never ever gone to Dubai had it not been, for you know what I mean, for certain things that were going on. I mean, for one, I had a face that people didn't really understand. You know what I mean? It didn't look like this face right here, which is my real deep into my skin face, So, I mean, it was totally the wrong place for me to go to. It was a misunderstanding. Them thinking I'm something I'm not, and me not following who I am. Versus, oh, what do I look like to people? What do people think of me type of thing? You know what I mean? And Dubai is just a waste of a place, man. There's no point. There's nothing in Dubai, man. There's nothing in Dubai. It's a boring old shithole with a bunch of exotic cars and stuff. Dubai, don't go to Dubai, man. It's just so shitty, man. I'll tell you right now, Dubai does not compare to like at least the 5 top cities in Europe. It wouldn't even be, if Dubai was compared with cities in Europe, it would be about at least 55. Like it would be the 55th city the best city in Europe. So anyways, I'm done. Next time I'll try to come back with more content. I'm out of time.